Hello everyone. Koei Tecmo released Berserk Musou at the tail end of 2016, and I've been playing it off and on for the last few months. In 2017, this game will be released to Western audiences with the title Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. So, before this game finally gets on the boat and arrives in the West, I thought I'd give my thoughts and impressions on the game. I've been a fan of Berserk since about 2001, first becoming exposed via the 1997 TV anime, and then through the manga. When news was released of a new Berserk game, I was excited, and then immediately put off by the first teaser, which had heinous close-ups of Kasu's groin and chest being fondled by tentacles. I personally think that the marketing for this game came across as tasteless and not representative of the overall franchise. But what's done is done. Let's focus on the game. The game's got three main modes: Story Mode, Free Mode, and the endless Eclipse Mode. For those of you who know Berserk, the story mode goes from the Golden Age arc right up until Guts and company get on the damn boat. If you've only watched the anime, you'll be seeing a lot of new content. Speaking of anime, the story mode is interlaced with clips from the 2012 Golden Age arc films for about the first half of the story. I've got no love for those films, but the animation works here. However, when the animation clips run out, the story is instead told through the in-game models. It is really jarring, and it kind of feels like the budget ran out. They made the best of what they had, and while Berserk Musou was never going to be a complete retelling of the manga, I finished the campaign feeling satisfied. Yet, it would have been nice to have seen more characters from the manga. In fact, a lack of characters might be my biggest criticism. You are given 8 playable characters. 8. The Berserk universe has dozens of characters that could have easily been adapted for a Warriors game. Characters like Grunbeld, Skull Knight, and Mozgus are in the game, but not playable. To add insult to injury, someone hacked the PS3 version of the game and showed they could be played. Also, how Koei Tecmo decided that Wild should be playable but not Skull Knight baffles me. But we ended up with Guts, Casca, Griffith, Judo, Zod, Sepiko, Shirke, and Wild. Each of the characters has a fairly unique feeling to them. Shirke is easily the most interesting to play as because she is the only spellcaster of the bunch and is deadly on horseback. The rest are either quick and nimble or slow and powerful. One nice feature is that certain characters have different forms that can be unlocked. Most of these secondary forms are totally overpowered and a real joy to play as. My biggest gripe, however, is that these overpowered forms have a really limited moveset. Berserk's input options do not break from the Warriors game equals button mash stereotype. We're literally talking about square and triangle here. That said, you can use the X button to dash cancel and increase the length of combos. Each character has unique animations with different crowd control effects, and what works for one character will not always work for another. However, the biggest offensive differentiators, in my opinion, are the sub-weapons and the special moves. Let's talk about special moves first. True to form, Koei Tecmo did a great job of making the special moves feel special. Smacking the circle button and then watching the kill counter increase by hundreds in split seconds is very satisfying. But special moves aren't always consistent. Guts, Serpico, Zod, and Wild special attacks are incredibly lethal, while Casca and Judo's just outright miss their targets sometimes. The other differentiator is sub-weapons. Sub-weapons come in all shapes and sizes. Characters like Shirke and Judo become much more powerful if you use their sub-weapons correctly. Even better, Zod and Wild have an excellent intimidation attack that instantly stuns enemies. During the most challenging levels, these sub-weapons are essential. The more I play Berserk Musou, the more I found myself utilizing and relying on these abilities. You can also make things like sub-weapons and special moves more powerful by equipping accessories. Accessories come with a ton of different attributes you can use to tweak your playstyle. I found abilities that power up the Berserk gauge outclassed any other abilities the game had to offer, because you cannot take damage while in the Berserk mode. By merging or enhancing accessories, which drop as loot, you can make some utterly ridiculous combinations that break the game at times. Pro tip: make sure you save any piece of equipment that has these beast or blue circle icons on them. You'll find loot with these abilities in the Eclipse mode. The Eclipse mode should be saved until after you've finished the story. It works in stages. You will choose a scenario that lasts for 5 floors or levels. Every 20 levels, you will collect a checkpoint. You keep working your way up until eventually you face Femto at the end. During the Eclipse mode, your items are locked, and any damage you sustain will carry over to the next scenario. What's more, unlike the story mode, consumable items will not automatically replenish. Another pro tip: as you progress, definitely choose the scenarios that have the Behelit icon on them. They contain high-level enemies to kill and unique content for each character. I don't know if there's any proof, but I found I got better rewards from doing the Behelit scenarios. Overall, the Eclipse mode is quite mindless for the first 50 floors or so, but becomes much more challenging as you scale up to the 100th floor. The rewards are definitely worth it if you care about unlocking the costumes and the uber-powerful secondary forms. So, those are my basic impressions. I enjoyed the time I spent with Berserk Musou, and will continue playing it. While the character selection is lacking, and there is no online component to speak of, it's a solid effort from Koei Tecmo with plenty of room for improvement if they ever decide to make a sequel. I imagine other Berserk fans will enjoy this title. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave any comments or questions below.